must be the magic that lasts. Love me for fun, girl. Let me be the one, girl. Love me for a reason. Let the reason be love. Don't love me for fun.
Well, those were some of the best from the last 40 years, but for every success there are thousands of failures. So what do you have to do to make it? Well, here to tell us a record producer, Ray Hedges, who launched BoyZone and Bewitched, Kate Thornton, who was editor of Smash Hits and has been a consultant for lots of new bands, plus Limahl, who saw both sides of pop stardom in the 80s. Hi to all of you.
Morning.
So,
Morning.
is it a sort of formula these days?
No, you need something special. I mean, everyone would like to think it's a formula, but no, you do need something special.
So what is it that you need? What's that secret ingredient?
I think you need a great vocal. You do need a great vocal. You can't get around that, really.
So that's not exclusive to a boy band then, like Bewitched?
Yeah, no,
I mean,
that's right.
I think that one of the reasons that they are so big is their first single was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was a great pop song.
You need characters as well. You need that magic, and that was something that Take That had. Just they spilled it. You know, they were fantastic. They were very watchable.
Yeah.
And you've got that with BoyZone as well. You've got a great lead vocalist in Ronan, but somebody who is also very watchable.
How do they plan it? I mean, like on doing this show, for example, the presenters meet with the editor and the producer the day before, and we kind of make it up, don't we? We think, what's a good thing to open with? Yeah, we'll do that, and we talk it through, and it's a very everything that you see on the screen is very carefully planned. I mean, not look at it, it's very carefully planned. Often it doesn't look
Honestly.
The plans don't often work out, but it is planned, and there is a plan. What about the boy band, the thing, though? And what about you? I mean, how much of what happened in your career was like, we'll do this tomorrow, we'll do that next month, and then we'll get this single and do that? Or is it all a bit rock and roll and we'll just see how it goes?
I think it's more ad-lib than that, and I think another interpretation of what Ray and Katie said is that you need three things. You need sufficient talent, you need favourable circumstances, and you've also got to work hard.
All right, well, I'll tell you what we're doing here then. You're going to be part of our panel, and we've got other people backstage as well, and we're going to invent a boy band on this morning.
Yeah.
Okay? And all being well, and if they're good enough, and we think they will, you can give them a contract, we'll sort out a record deal, and we'll make them big. We'll do it here.
Do we get a percentage?
Well, I'd actually asked
yesterday.
that. Sorry, get a lawyer. So we're going to analyse how the boy band thing works before we ask you to enter that. So we'll look at the three major components of any band, really, but particularly boy bands: the music, obviously, the style, the look, and the moves, the way the guys move. And we've got three of the biggest boy bands of the last few years to analyse. We've got Take That, BoyZone, and 911. So first of all, let's listen to the way the music of Take That changed over the... How many years were they together?
5 years altogether. Five, almost 6 years.
OK, well, 5 compressed into 30 seconds.
Could it be magic now? Now you each night is pain. Oh, listen, whatever I did, I didn't mean it. I just want you back for good.
Want You Back still gives me a tingle, actually.
Such a good song.
They were, I mean, with Gary Barlow, they have an award-winning songwriter, a great vocalist, great backup vocals by Robbie Williams. That was the band that could do no wrong, and they look fantastic.
And they were, I mean, you can't deny that. They were something special. They had a star quality.
Yeah.
Right
Let's have a look at what we're calling the look, you know, the image, and again, how that changed over the 5 years. I mean, what were they like? How would you define that when they started?
Shocking. That's simply shocking, Richard.
Okay.
That's called We Haven't Got Enough Money for a Stylist. Now, this is heavily styled, and I think this came at a time when the boys needed to cross over, and the look very much matches what is a mature crossover track.
And also that seemed to reflect their personalities more, rather than taking a band and saying, right, you've got to wear these T-shirts, these trousers, kind of
they grew up,
image.
and they aged beautifully. They did it very well with great style. You know, what you've got to remember with a band like Take That, they were making a lot of money for the record company, but rightly so, because for each boy band, I mean, for the boy band that we attempt to launch, you're talking about £1 million being invested before a single is even released.
Whoa, hold this plan, hold this plan.
But that's what record companies will invest on, a kind of like Five or BoyZone. Yeah, you're talking about £1 million worth of investment before a single hits the
I was
shelves.
yesterday afternoon.
Richard, you have my number.
All right. OK, well, let's look at the moves. Let's get off this subject of money. Let's look at the moves that developed. Again, this was a very typical standard opening. This is them on This Morning, actually, in about 1990.
Is it really?
Yes, yeah, they're on the
They
photo
were
con too,
very
yeah.
choreographed, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were great moves.
They slowed down, though,
I mean,
didn't
you
they?
had...
It did slow down,
Jason
and also
Caron.
they made them very easy to use, so that fans could copy them and adapt them and use them.
Is that why they do it?
Yeah, I mean,
true?
yeah. I mean, if you look
Absolutely.
at the success of
Absolutely.
steps at the moment,
Yeah.
you go to any kind of under-18s nightclub, you've got everybody mimicking those moves, and it creates a buzz. It creates an identity for that band.
So in the clubs, the lads were doing that. They were dancing like that.
Absolutely,
Yeah, and the girls. I mean, it was the girls that aspired to take that more so than lads. But yeah, it's all
Okay.
part of the package.
Okay, well, let's have a look at BoyZone next. Here's their music, first of all.
It's only words, and words are all I have. No matter what they tell us, no matter.
Did they start with a cover?
Yes.
They did,
Is that a good way in?
Raised track.
Yeah, yeah. Well, obviously, I did 6 singles with them, and we obviously started with a cover. And a lot of people are frightened of covers, but it was just, you know, it just happened to be a great song, and it actually showed that they could sing, and then we moved on from that.
But does that kind of give you a leg up because at least one element is familiar, even if the band aren't?
Absolutely.
People know the
Yeah.
track and they
And
think,
does.
"Oh."
to the generation that the BoyZone were trying to appeal to at that time, they didn't know who the Osmonds were. This is new to them.
Yeah.
So that's what they were doing, is bringing kind of old music into the hands of an
I
entirely
also
new
think
generation.
with the record companies, they feel quite safe with a song that's already
Yeah.
proved itself, and if you've
Right.
got a new
Not too
group.
risky.
don't
Well, let's
have
have
to
a look at their look. You see, we're not going to show the thing from the Gay Burn show way back in Ireland when they went on, because
That's
it's
very
just
funny,
a bit
that.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
Just white, really.
Isn't it?
Well, what are they trying to say?
I think the BoyZone have grown up probably less controversially as far as their image goes, and say take that. But they've certainly pulled it off. Ronan Keating is an incredibly stylish frontman.
Yeah.
He always looks good. And the one thing BoyZone have always done well is chosen their covers well. Words, Father and Son, Baby Can I Hold You, they're all very strong tracks.
Yeah.
And they've been very consistent throughout, really, boys, and they managed to get to the sort of niche market and stayed
Yeah.
how they wanted to for a long time. They haven't really had to change. and
The
mutate
way they
too much.
move is actually less sort of defined, isn't it? So look, folks, less defined than Take That. It's quite loose, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this
They
is
tend not
another one of
yeah.
mine, and we purposely didn't want them moving. We didn't want to do a sort of a choreographed routine. I mean, you know, they have never really sort of been that sort of band where they've been doing a lot of sort of dancing.
They think rather than move, don't
Right.
And also,
Right.
if you're gonna perform live vocals, which BoyZone do, I mean, they're one of the few boy bands that will always perform live.
Yeah.
You can't jump around like that because
you get out of breath.
Well,
You've
the
got to sing,
vocals, yeah, the
exactly.
vocals take the brunt of it, and I think that they do put on a good live show.
they? OK, we've got to rush on to 911.
Don't make me wait one more day. You got my body shaking, sends a shiver to my soul.
And end up just lying around.
Very rare.
More successful, the rather stiller you can become,
You
isn't
can
it?
gauge it by the amount of movement you
It's
don't
rare that
make.
you'd launch
true.
on a ballad, though, isn't it? You'd
Yeah,
always go
so-
for something really up-tempo.
Up-tempo,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why probably you've seen a routine to start with,
Yeah.
and then you move into maybe a ballad later. So,
How would you define their looks?
well,
Image?
well, I mean,
What is their image?
It's very much
Very
the boy next
casual,
door.
yeah.
I mean, if you were
Exactly.
14, you'd be quite within reason thinking you had a chance with one of these lads. And that's the whole. That's
That's
the
the thing, isn't
marketing.
it? To make you think you could possibly marry
Could I
one.
date this man? Yes, I could. Therefore, I will buy his
Right.
records, T-shirts, videos,
Right,
and
right,
everything
right,
else.
right. And again, they've deconstructed the moves, haven't they? It's
Yeah.
not. It's not really that. I think initially, again, it's a bit choreographed, but it could be. This could be any kind of act, couldn't it?
Yeah.
yeah, right.
They are good dancers, 911. Jimmy and Spike were both dancers professionally before they joined the group.
Yeah. So there's a girl next door fancying the boy next door.
Yeah.
That's the message of that little song, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're actually pitched slightly lower age group, I would
Yeah,
say,
than BoyZone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's important to say that even with all the great moves and the great styling, you still need that great track
Yeah.
Yeah.
to
You,
make.
you need everything, really, don't you? Did you
Yeah.
enjoy your time in your band?
Oh God, yeah, and I still am. 17 years later, there's now this resurgence, and I'm just gigging all over the world at the moment. It's fantastic.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you for now.
Yeah,
you.
thank you very much. So, do you think that you've got what it takes to make it big? We are going to launch a search for our own boy bands, and if you want to enter, you need to be between 16 and 25. You need to have a good singing voice and a great personality. So drop us a line telling us why you think you fit the bill. We need an up-to-date photo and a tape or a video of yourself performing. and send it to This Morning Boy Band, 16 Hatfields, London, SE1 8DJ.
But just to warn you, we can't afford, allegedly, to send back the photos. It's the stamps. Cost too much money. So don't send your most precious
So where are we
picture.
going to get this £1 million from to launch the band then?
I wish we'd known this.
It's the record company that has to come up with
Oh,
that. So we're fine. We're fine.
Yeah.
We can just
Oh,
be creative.
It's OPM, other people's
They're
money.
old ones,
Yes,
right?
Oh, that's
absolutely.
right. Oh, great. We just take their money and blow it.
We like this idea.
This is better. Back on track. We're carrying on with this idea. We're going to hold auditions live on the show in about a fortnight's time. They'll be back to judge, and they know their stuff. They really do. So give us a ring now if you want, because we're going to show you 5 boy... Well, this is different. This is something different. We're now going to show you 5 boy bands, and the one that gets the highest number of votes gets to sing us out of today's show. It's just for a laugh. So, if you want us to play out with the Monkeys, yes. Weren't they good, the Monkeys?
Absolutely.
It's 0660 000 701.
If you'd like the Bay City Rollers, yes, call 0660 000 702. Richard would like them.
Oh, sure, yeah. If you want Bros, you call 0660 000 703, and I think Caron likes... Both Carons like Bros. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Caron, yeah.
If you'd like to take that, call 0660 000 704.
Or if you vote for BoyZone, 0660 000 705, we'll play the winning video at the end of the show, and then, boy, will we have a profile of our viewership. Especially if they vote for the Monkeys, we're in trouble.
We can always get them back. They're still
Yeah, pull them.
I think the Bay City Rollers, we need those tartan scarves out again. OK, we're going to take our first break of the day now, but we're back in 3 minutes with our phone-in on Mile High Stories. John Rhodes in the kitchen, plus your chance to qualify to win £2,000 in today's Pussycat.